What up? Coming to you live from your biggest Daihatsu fanboy. I think it's safe to say that I officially beat the Honda fanboy allegations, although in 48 hours I'm picking up that white Honda SMX. But as you guys can see, I currently own 3 Daihatsus back to back to back. And as you guys know, this is my forever case, so we don't even have to talk about this car. And then this one, I've been saying it over and over, but new tires are happening once I get back from Florida. I absolutely cannot wait to drive this off-road, and I can't wait to honestly own this car for quite some time. Unlike the Daihatsu Little Person. So I have somebody coming tomorrow. I don't know if they're really gonna buy it. He says he's 6'3", 220. He doesn't know if he's gonna fit. I'm about 5'9" and 190, and I barely fit. So I'm honestly not too optimistic. Luckily, he does live in Long Island, so it's not like he's traveling far or anything. And then he also wanted to look at the Terrios, but I don't think I would sell the Terrios tomorrow. And then he also wanted to go look at the Serena. So I think this guy might just buy a car tomorrow in general. So I feel like because this might be my last 24 hours with the Daihatsu Midget, it's only right if I do one of the most important videos in my opinion, and that is the 5 things that I personally love and hate about the Daihatsu Midget. So without further ado, let's get into my list. I'm gonna name one thing I love, and then I'm gonna name one thing I hate, and we'll do it in that order. So first and foremost, for things that I love about the Daihatsu Midget is that they're very rare. And I mean rare even for K-car standards, because in my opinion, the Honda Acti is one of the most popular K-trucks you can see. And if you see a Honda Acti, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. If I go to car meet and I see a Honda Acti, I'm like, wow, that's crazy, especially if it's not a K-car meet. But when it comes to even K-cars, I feel like this is up there with an AZ1. I've gone to countless dealerships, I've gone to countless car meets, and it's very rare for me to see someone with a Daihatsu Midget. That's why I was blown away that the homie in Boston actually had one, because think about it, it's a 1-seater K-car. And I'm gonna go more into that later, but for the price of this, you can buy a 2-seater K-truck that has a bigger bed, you can buy a K-van, you can buy a K-car, you can buy a lot of other Ks than getting this. So I feel like for someone to buy a Midget, you just gotta be like a little extra like special, and you just want to be a little more unique, and that's why I love it. Now let's switch over to the hate side. Something I absolutely dislike about this car: it is only a 1-seater. I know they make the 1.5 version, which we need to stop calling it a 2-seater, because it's just this. This is just a seat. It doesn't make a big difference. Maybe you and a child can fit in, but 2 adults cannot comfortably sit in a Daihatsu Midget. The one with the cargo, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You cannot really fit 2 people in there. So I don't like that it's a 1-seater. I'm someone who's owned countless Miatas. I have the mirror walkthrough. I've owned Cappuccinos, Beats. I love 2-seater cars with all my heart. I've never really owned a big sedan for a long time, or even a minivan or something like that. So I don't mind a 2-seater, but a 1-seater is just not practical. You can't, I don't want to go too deep into the 1-seater part, but it's just not for me, not for long term at least. Number 2 on my list, and something that is very important when it comes to buying a K car, something I absolutely love, is that it was very easy for me to find parts. I found the oil filter with no issue. I found the air filter, the plugs, the wires, and everything. Usually with these Daihatsus, anyone that owns a mirror walkthrough or a K-truck or one of that, it's actually one of the hardest brands to find parts for. Slater from JDM Hawaii is actually building a website now. I'm giving you guys some personal information, but he's building a platform where you'll be able to find Daihatsu parts a lot easier, because like even just normal Hi-Jet things, for some reason on Megazip, on Amayaya, it's just so hard to find Daihatsu parts. But surprisingly, even aftermarket stuff like that, floor mats, these roll bars, these side panels, just Midget parts in general. If you have a crashed Midget, or you just need to find some additional parts for your car, even to like these plastic trim pieces here, there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of parts readily available, which for me, someone who likes to customize their K cars, that is a huge pro. Now let's talk about a huge con. So I already spoke about it being a 1-seater. Now to piggyback off that, not only is it a 1-seater, but this one in particular, without the cargo cover, can fit absolutely nothing. I'm about to go to the post office. Shout out to everybody who's buying things on WayBeforeTheFame. We got about 6 or 7 orders here. If you guys don't know, head to WayBeforeTheFame.com. I'm giving 20% off all orders, no code needed. There's a couple people who bought some K-plates. I sold some shifter hoodies already. I sold a bunch of magnets, a bunch of stickers. So shout out to you guys for supporting the channel. But even these 7 orders right here can barely find a home when this door is closed and when I'm inside the car. Now imagine if I had a box or a case of water or just go grocery shopping. You get a little bit of storage back here, but overall it's pretty inconvenient. My rebuttal for that inconvenience, something else I love about the Daihatsu Midget, is that you are the center of attention, no pun intended. So if you guys don't know, you're sitting in the middle of this car. If anyone's looking at you, you can see the two front wheels are on each side of the steering wheel. And I don't mean that just at JDM meets, I mean anywhere. This thing breaks necks even more than the Blueberry Lemon. So if you're into that, you're a people person, you want to chop it up even more than just, my K-car owners already know. You could own a K-Van, K-Truck, Beat, Cappuccino, Terios, Mirror Walkthrough, whatever the case may be. This guy is top 2 when it comes to just odd looking cars on the road. So I'm doing this list in no specific order as like the first thing I hate the most or the second thing I hate the most. But the third thing that I hate, which could be number 1, I think it's the most annoying, the most inconvenient thing about this car, is that I don't have anything to roll down this window. I've seen some midgets that have the crank, and from my understanding, I think they take it off the cargo vehicle and then they just swap doors, because I'm pretty sure it's a direct swap, and that's how you're able to roll it down. Or maybe later in the midget years you're able to just get one from the factory. It's already inconvenient driving a right-hand drive car in a left-hand drive world, but then you add the fact that I can't even put this down at a parking garage, at a drive-through, just to talk to somebody. It's got to be easily one of the most annoying things, and that's coming from someone who owns a Mirror Walkthrough, which kind of has the same situation. But at least with this car, if I really want to, I can do this. So besides the fact that it protrudes out the body, this is pretty convenient, because parking garages, I can really just take my seatbelt off and walk over, or I can just go to the drive-thru and again, walk over, reach over. They can kind of put their whole body inside if they want to hand me the food. Unlike this guy, which luckily this one has ice cold AC, but if it didn't, I could not imagine buying a midget that didn't have a window here and didn't have AC. Number 4 on the list, and this is specific to my Daihatsu little person, is I really just love the way this one looks specifically. I've been wanting a Daihatsu Midget forever. I always thought they were cool, quirky cars, and I wanted mine to be exactly like this one. That's why when I saw it in Japan, I was like, no, we got to go for this one. I think I even overpaid, honestly, but it had all the little trims and pieces that I would want on mine. Like I told you guys, this is the highest trim model you could get on the Midget, so that means it comes with this bar here, the 2 lights, it has a spare tire cover, has the roll bar in the black, the plastic here, comes with the fog lights and everything. And I think I just did enough things to it to make it tastefully beautiful for the next person. If I was in the business of keeping cars for a long period of time and it wasn't all about the content and road to 100K, if you're watching this video, please subscribe to the channel. I would have loved to put 2 additional lights up here. I would have loved to add a light bar. I would have loved to add the LEDs on both sides. You guys saw how the other Midget looks. I think that's another great upgrade. And then if it wasn't 40 degrees out, I think I would have also painted the bed black. You guys know I love doing that on K-Trucks. I feel like having all of the teal back here black, or maybe even go all the way to the top, but at the bare minimum, maybe like here down, all bedline black. I think it'll make it look even better. But in my opinion, with the bumper bar in the back, the yellow drums on both sides, the official Daihatsu rims, brand new tires, Alcantara steering wheel, WayBeforeTheFame horn, a total with CarPlay, cool cup holders there, AC, fog lights, everything works. I think it's a very good looking K car. I think the comments also putting my logo here, and it's reflective, which is pretty cool, and the K plate. But yeah, I think this is a really good looking car. Now let me tell you what I'm not happy about. So I need to do laundry right now, and here's my laundry bag, and I would love to put it inside of the car, right? I would love to be able to safely transport my laundry, but as you can see, my shifter has disappeared, and there's no real way for me to go through the gears with my laundry bag here. And yes, I know I have a full-size Terios, a Serena, a Mirror Walkthrough that can easily fit it, but for the game of it, how am I supposed to drop off my laundry if I only have one car and it's a Daihatsu little person? What I could do is put it back here, which in all honesty is what I'm going to do because I have the roll bar back here and I'm not really going too far. But the fourth thing I hate about this car is how short the bed really is. So now let's whip out our handy dandy tape measure, and the bed is about 3 feet 10 inches long and about 4 feet 2 inches wide. But height wise, we're looking at 7 inches. It's like, what can you really fit back here? At least with a K truck, which this is kind of the same. At least with a K truck, I know I said a lot of things about space. With a K truck, at least you have 2 seats, so I can store all this on my passenger seat. And if I'm going somewhere far, I do have the bed, which is a lot taller than 7 inches. So I just feel like for a daily, this one ranks very low on the Way for the Fame scale. Can't fit 2 people inside. Can't really fit things in the back. Can't even open this window. But now, let's get into the last thing that I absolutely love and hate about the Daihatsu Little Person. The fifth and most important thing, that's really why I saved it for last. My favorite thing about the Daihatsu Midget is the driving experience. It's a one-seater. I know I said I didn't like that, but it's a one-seater. I'm in by myself right now. It's just me and my 4-speed transmission. Taking turns, rear wheel drive, stick shift. I know people like the cargo version, and the cargo version is cool, don't get me wrong. A lot of my issues would be solved if I had the storage in the back. I guess you could say fit 2 people in there, but it's automatic. And I'm not one of those automatic haters like, oh, every car would be so much more cool automatic. My forever K that I'm into $20,000 is automatic. That Wagoneer we just built with the heart-shaped rims, automatic. I own the automatic Jimny, the Honda Z, automatic. I've owned a lot of automatic K cars, and they're not terrible, but if you think about all the cars I just named, most of them are turbo. So automatic non-turbo, not that enjoyable. So it's really a trade-off. Do you want the cargo space, the 1.5 seater, and you get to have an automatic transmission, or do you want to... But like I mentioned on the previous things, I just love this steering wheel. I love the fact that there's CarPlay in front of my face right now. I love the fact that this thing absolutely breaks necks. But yeah, I would have to say for sure, one of the most enjoyable things about the Little Person is the fact that it's stick shift. Like just hitting these turns and everything, it just feels different. Now, since we're driving, let me talk about something that is not an absolute blast, and the last thing I hate about the Daihatsu Midget. It's a 4-speed. My first ever K truck ever, K car, K everything, was a 4-speed Daihatsu Hijet. And at the time I didn't know any better. I was just like, you know, it's a K truck, it's 4-speed, whatever. Like, you know, I should be fine. I wasn't fine. I wasn't fine. When it's a 4-speed, although I would have to say this one is definitely geared a little better than some of the K trucks, it doesn't like going over 50 miles per hour, which, you know, most people don't do to begin with. But again, when it comes to Nicholas and how much he likes to actually drive his cars, I would like to comfortably, to an extent, go 60 miles per hour on all my K cars. That's why when I buy an automatic one, I try to get a turbo because I already know, even the town box, I forgot about the town box. The town box was 120 kilometers an hour and it was automatic, but it was turbo. So I don't love that this is a 4-speed. Again, I guess you could say a trade-off. These don't even exist 5-speed, so there's nothing I could do about it. The automatics are 3-speed, which in my opinion is even worse. I do think that the newer, like maybe the 99 and 2000 midgets came twin cam and maybe also 5-speed, but the one that I have is a 4-speed single cam. And you know, I'll show you guys me going 60 miles per hour. It can do it, but I don't know how much it'll love it. So I found some extra things that I like and dislike about the Daihatsu Little Person. One, ride quality is really not that bad. I can take this on a road trip. Again, because it's a single seater, I wouldn't say it's a lot of room. I don't feel claustrophobic in here, but I'm alone. So like I can chill, I can spread my arms to an extent. It doesn't look like it, but like I feel relatively comfortable sitting in here for, you know, 4 or 5 hours straight. I don't love that I can't put this window down on a hot day. Like I might want some wind from both sides just to kind of wake me up, but it's not that bad. I'm going over bumps. There's a big bump right here. Another one. Takes it fine. Now for the thing that I dislike. There's no tack, which is whatever when it comes to K cars, but this cluster is just way too simple. I don't have water temps. I don't have anything. Just my speed in gas. Luckily, it does have a text where it will say if you're overheating. When David was overheating, I was looking at it. Probably when I turn the car off, I can show you what it looks like, but this is just too basic, and on top of that, there's almost no light here, so you can't really see at night. Something else I love, which I really just want to talk about in general, and I know I spoke about driving experience and everything, but the handling. Like the handling, like I know go-kart gets thrown around like crazy when it comes to K cars, but as someone like me who's a K slut and is just in and out of cars non-stop, it's hard for me to see another car and be like, wow, this is such a new experience. I love the way this drives. But this one does that. This one, when I'm driving it, I'm like, hold on. Here's the sensors I was talking about. So you get a battery, oil, e-brake, seatbelt, and water temp. So it's not the worst thing ever, but I don't like it. But there it is. Daihatsu Midget. Maybe sold tomorrow. Maybe not. Maybe giveaway coming soon, because I know a lot of people like this car. Maybe I'll do one between this one, the SMX, the Terios, maybe even the Serena, maybe Project Acti. I gotta update you guys on that car, but here it is in all its glory.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.